It's important for us to be part of this Power Africa program because it's an opportunity to get direct introductions to many of the key contacts and opportunities that exist for us within the energy space here in South Africa. So our technology is unique in that it acts as a router for hybrid mini-grid systems. And so what that means is that we're able to connect directly with batteries, with solar panels, with hydrogen, with diesel generators, to be able to pull from the technology layer itself to see production. That allows us to do a lot of modeling and predictions to forecast demand, to forecast consumption, to forecast production in the future. And that allows us to then be able to match supply with demand at all times, be able to sell to the grid when necessary to ensure that you're always able to ensure profitability for either your solar plants or for your mini-grid system. And also allows for 24/7 access to electricity within the mini-grid itself. Well, I think the reason why we're interested in Africa in particular, there are a lot of reasons. One, there's a massive opportunity, but I think more importantly for me is I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I migrated to the United States a long time ago, and seeing where Zimbabwe is and where it could be, same with South Africa, same with most of the continent, right? There's a lot of suppressed economic potential, and it's directly related to the availability of electricity and the instability of grids. So if you can provide solutions that allow for greater stability and allow for greater access, you unlock that economic potential and that GDP growth happens. I mean, there's a very close relationship between GDP per capita and electricity access across the world. The countries that have the best access also happen to have the best GDP. So it's a really clear line to where and how Africa can develop. So I think the big push and expansion of clean tech energy across North America, Europe, et cetera, I think it creates a lot of opportunities in terms of technologies that can be then redeployed in the African context. I think if you look at the development and the use of mobile infrastructure, I think it's a good model for how Africa skipped an entire technology generation very quickly, and in fact is in many ways more advanced than Europe and North America in terms of mobile phone use. So I think there's some similar parallels that can be drawn with renewable energy. That also means that we can avoid a lot of the pitfalls of renewable energy. So I live in California. We have massive problems with what's called a duck curve. So we have tons of solar that dumps solar into the grid during the day. Then when the sun goes down, there's a massive shortfall that the grid can't manage. And so that creates a lot of instability with all those renewables. So learning from those mistakes or those issues in the United States and Europe, Africa can avoid that and become a real place and a real proving ground for renewable energy being a really effective way of industrializing countries. And the first thing that comes to mind is opportunity. It is a Wild West. It is a great time to be part of it because now the technologies are at a price point where it actually makes sense to start deploying. You have a lot of people that are intensely focused and curious. It's a shame that Eskom is in the state that it is. It's a shame that grids across the continent are where they are, but it creates opportunity for new technologies, for new approaches, and for new and better things for the continent ahead. So I'm very optimistic about that. Yeah, so in terms of a message for 10th anniversary, 10 years is a very long time. It's a great milestone. It's really important to encourage American businesses to come into Africa and to be partners with Africa. I think it really is important to change the nature of the relationship between Europe and North America and Africa from one that's exploitative to one that's more of a partnership. And I feel like people like me who kind of are sort of halfies, grew up in the States, but are African at their core. It provides us an opportunity to show how that partnership can actually exist. So the fact that this has been around for 10 years and you have more and more businesses participating, I think here's to another 10 more years.